Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel, KingHumanFan. And I hope you subscribe. If you subscribe, then you get notification anytime I place a new video. And I'll be placing a lot of videos, but for sale items. And my channel will be about first events like the first automobile and the first plane, with the Wright brothers, and the first hybrid cars, the first light bulb, and all the first stuff, like the first refrigerator for home use. After the ice box where you put ice in it, and went to electric. That was a pretty big event. Try to live without a refrigerator. It's hard, unless you eat out of a snack bag, because you can't keep nothing unless it's refrigerated. Most things have to be refrigerated, and unless you're, I'm almost a total vegetarian, but things, it's hard to keep, even your vegetables, because it keeps longer in the refrigerator or the freezer, so refrigeration is hard to live without. But I like first events of everything, and like the first hybrid car was made in 1899, and it wasn't until like 1900, for the first production automobile for a lot of people to buy. So those are first events, and I tried to find the first event with a covered plane, but I'm not sure how to find that. Because the first commercial flight was done in the open air. I mean, a commercial flight is people paying to take you somewhere. That's a commercial flight. It's a pilot and the rider, but trying to find the first cover is kind of difficult. But I might search it again. I spent a few hours trying to find out when that was, but I couldn't find the date of when a covered flight was. That's what I call a commercial, where you're not, you're in comfort when you go somewhere. And like the automobile, when was that? When was that all encaged? Because that started out all open too. The automobile, that started out all open, and candles for your front lights. So my YouTube video, not video, my YouTube channel will be of first events, plus for sale items, some for sale items. I'm not big into selling a lot of stuff, but when I do have stuff for sale, I usually give a good deal, and I back what I sell. So I'll shave this stuff off pretty soon, but then I'll have a nice clean face, and I get that tooth replaced when I get enough money. That tooth and that tooth, and I got a couple other teeth I want to replace, but they cost like $1,300 per tooth. So when I come up with some money, that's when I'll replace my teeth. It's only been gone for a couple months, but yeah, my channel will be an interesting channel. I mean, I hated history back in school when I was made to I was forced to study for the history. I thought that was all old stuff. It didn't matter, like a lot of kids did. But it's kind of interesting when the first event came, because now I can judge time a lot better. Now that I'm a little older. I was born on June 1958, and my name is spelled with two N's, D-A-N-N, and two And my middle initial is J. The J stands for my mother. She was her first name was Julie, so my J stands for my mother. I was special because I have two N's, and I have J for her first initial. Well, she died in '89 of lung cancer, but that was a big deal to me. And my dad died in '76, April 3rd, '76, of a massive heart attack, and that was like I think it was like 2 weeks after he had a complete VA physical. He had to have a complete VA physical, like every year, and he came back and so happy. He passed that with flying colors. He says he passed his physical with flying colors, and then 2 weeks later, he's on the floor clutching his chest, asking Jesus to save him. And 3 days later, he died in the hospital. And I was in the 11th grade. And that was pretty tough to take. That was my first recognition of real death after any of my dogs that died. But dogs are a little bit different than people who associate with each other and talk to each other and really had a good understanding of each other. And, love for your dad and mom, the worst. It was the worst, man. That's when you really know what death is, when someone dies that you're really close to, which was my dad. But over time, you get over it a little bit. Never get over it. But, yep, that's why I named my channel KingHumanFan, because of King Human. I'm following him and the way he made his money on the internet. And through iStock, where they stock pictures, and a couple other places where they stock pictures and sell on eBay and sell on Craigslist, dividend stocks, and reinvest in your dividend. That's called compounding, and affiliate marketing, and where you get banners from companies, and anybody who buys from you get a certain percentage, and stuff like that. That's King Human. He makes over $1 million a year on the internet, and he likes to show people how to do that stuff. And you can join his King Human Elite website for $15 a month, if he still has openings, because he manage that site all by himself, but he's a millionaire and he's made all his money on the internet. That's why I'm following him, and hopefully I can make some money. I'll be happy to make a decent wage. I mean, and you can't do it just on YouTube or just one place, I guess, because with YouTube, it's like every 1,000 or so videos you might make $10 or so. So if you have millions, you might be able to make a really good wage. I seen one guy he said he made $1 million, but man, you'd have to have a lot of subscribers, or not subscribers, but viewers. It doesn't matter on subscriptions. Subscriptions just means that you get notification of new videos that person sells. Places on his YouTube channel. It don't cost you nothing, and nothing costs anything for the subscriber. But I guess the way you make money on YouTube is by the ads, but you only make a small amount on each ad, a couple pennies or so, and you have to have a massive viewing to make $1 million, or even close to $500,000 or 100,000. I'd be happy with the most I've ever made as a factory ad is 50,000. I mean, it's 49,000, but I'd be happy with that. But I could live well off with $50 grand a year. I'd be well off. Yeah, I don't see what these people do with all this money they make. But I hope you subscribe, and I hope to see you soon on my channel, my YouTube channel. And thanks a lot for watching this video. And I hope you have a good time. Hope you have a good time and have fun on my video, or on my videos in my YouTube channel. Thanks. As you can see, it's April the 1st, and time is 3:21 p.m. And I'm talking about my life today. My lifey. My little lifey today on YouTube. And I was probably about 6 months old when I went to see Santa Claus for the first time. and I played on my street, my dead end street. I lived on a dead end street and I played on it, and that was pretty cool. My childhood was great. And then I started school at Edison. I went to kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. So kindergarten through the 6th grade. Yeah, I flunked kindergarten. Actually, I got held back. They call it held back, but held back, flunked, whatever. You just gotta do it over again. And I was pissed. And I was the second kindergarten. I didn't smile. I frowned and went like that. And I wanted to make sure everybody knew I was pissed. I had to redo that grade over. And so we walked to school. My friend that used to live right behind me, we walk to school every day, and we try to jump the cement squares. You know, where you walk on the sidewalk. See how far we jump. We did that all the time. Well, back then the gym teacher picked who went to track and represented the school, and guess who was picked? Yeah, I was picked. I was Class A, and I was always a small guy. And today I'm 5'4" and about 150 pounds. But back then I was probably 4 foot something, and 60, 70 pounds, whatever, and went up to maybe 100 pounds. Probably not even that in 6th grade, but I was always a small kid, and so I was picked for track by the gym teacher. I was picked to go for the 50-yard dash and the running long jump, and I took the running long jump number one. I was number one. I jumped something like 10 feet. I was only 4 foot something, and I jumped 10 feet. Instead of the sidewalks jumping, we jumped into sand. So we ran down the dirt and then jumped into sand. So, and I jumped, I think it was around 10 feet something. I got the ribbon. Actually, I can show that. I got my diploma and my ribbon right here. I can show that. Got the old diploma and my ribbons. Let's see. I jumped. It was on 8/19/74, and that's Kalamazoo. That's Kalamazoo Fair. I used to enter these small vegetables I would grow. Here we go. Kalamazoo Public Schools track and field meet, 1970. First place for running long jump. I jumped. This was on This was on May 19th, 1970. I think this was like in 5th grade or 6th grade. And I jumped 10 foot, 10.5 inches. Geez, I almost jumped 11 feet. No wonder I took first place. It's a running long jump. But that was on May 19th, 1970. And then I never got my second place ribbon, which the other kid's foot was just like 2 inches in front of my foot at the finish line, and I took second place in the 50-yard dash. And I was fast. I was fast back then. I'm not that bad now, but I don't know what I could do then. But that was the run long jump and 50-yard dash. I took first place in run long jump and second place in 50-yard dash. And it was a really close call. But yeah, I graduated in 1977. Right here. It was Northern Oaks High School. But anyway, from kindergarten to 6th grade, I was in Edison. And then I graduated from grammar school or elementary school. And then that was kind of the highlight of my elementary years when I got first and second place for a track meet. And then let me stop the video here, and then I'll start the next segment of my life. Yep, today is April the 1st, 2015, and it's 3:28. Okay, here's my second segment of my life, and let's see. Okay, so I finished elementary school from Edison. I graduated, and then I went to middle school, which is called junior high, and that school had 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, and the achievement I did there, I don't think I ever played ping pong before that, but then I played ping pong in junior high, and now I was like a master of, compared to everybody else for ping pong. I was in the top 5. Now I claim to be the best, like the other 4 people or 3 people, whoever they were. But I beat everybody, and I got beat a few times. But we always played ping pong during the lunch hour, and I always skipped lunch and played ping pong. I never even ate, and I was always a skinny kid, but and I was always athletic, and so 7th or 8th grade, I think 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade, I took shop, and I think I took it 7th and 8th grade, and I'm not sure if I took it 9th or not, but I built a ping pong table for one of my projects, and put it in my basement on the dead-end street. I lived on a dead-end street my whole life, and had fun there, had fun playing out on the dead-end street. But the ping pong table, I played down in my basement all the time, and because I kind of liked it after I played it on lunch hour. And I think I did start just before junior high. I started playing ping pong, but because I was a master, I beat everybody. There ain't one person I couldn't beat. But I'd have my off days, and I got beat a few times. And I'd run the table all lunch hour. I wouldn't even take lunch. But I was always kind of athletic. And because of my dead-end street, I always used to play on and ride a bike and stuff like that, and run and play. But 7th grade to 9th, 7th, 8th, and 9th was my junior high years. So, and that was probably my best achievement is playing, being able to beat everybody in ping pong. I had a high skill level in ping pong, that's for sure. I love to slam, get in slamming matches, man. I get in slamming matches and love it. And I lose every so often, but no big deal. And I never went out for sports. I never went out for sports for my school. I was going to school for one reason only, and that's to graduate. But that was my junior high years. I took a lot of shop classes and art class. I think art class. And played ping pong during the lunch hour. And everybody feared me in ping pong. I think I feared me. But that's segment number 2 of my life. Now the time, April 1st, 3:32 p.m. And continuation of my life. This is part 3. And after I graduated junior high or middle school of 7th, 8th, and 9th, I went to Lower Norks, and I have a brother that wrestled in high school, and I think he wrestled in junior high school, but he was kind of a sports person too, and then he started taking karate and judo. He took judo down to Y. He was a black belt in judo and a black belt in Okinawan karate or kung fu and Okinawan karate, Waichuru. He was a black belt, and he was a black belt in judo down to Y, and he could teach both judo and karate, and probably teach wrestling too, because he was a wrestler in high school. But yeah, he plays all instruments, wind instruments, and string instruments, and guitar, that's the string, and then the drums, and any instrument he can play and he can teach. And also he's a master, like a master mechanic. He can fix just about anything, and a professional fisherman. He likes to fish and makes his own lures. He sells them on eBay, and he's the mastermind of the family, because he knows a lot. But anyway, I graduated middle school or junior high, and went to Lower Norks, and I went there for 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, and graduated in 1977. And we had a tournament going in our gym class, ping pong. Guess what? Ping pong. Well, there's this track star guy. I mean, I think he went out for baseball too, track, and he was an athletic guy, skinny and okay condition, and he was our track star. And well, the Marines come once a year to see how what physical condition we're in. And first year in the 10th grade, I only got the second best certificate, and then I decided I'm gonna up that in the 11th grade. So I started working out and running, getting myself prepared, and it worked. In the 11th grade, I got the highest award that the Marines can issue, which is the physical fit. It's excellence. Physical fitness of excellence. That's the highest certificate a Marine can give you, and I got that. Only 5 people got that out of my school, 5, and by that time, by the 11th grade, it was going by 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, so I had 9th in there too. So out of the whole school, only 5 people got the Marines Certificate of Excellence for Physical Fitness Award. And that's just a piece of paper saying that that's the highest award that I could get, or anybody could get, from the Marines. And I never went out for sports. So it was the 5 people. It was that track star guy, a wrestler, a football player, and it was either baseball or basketball or basketball or a baseball player. Those were the 4, and then me. And when I showed what I could do, I mean, I did 50 push-ups and 30 pull-ups and 440 and a mile, and plus jump rope and a bunch of other crap. But that sports guy saw me and saw me get that award, and he said, "Man, if you can do all that, why don't you play sports for your school?" I'm going, I'm here for one thing and one thing only, and that's to graduate. So I did. I graduated in 1977. But anyway, the same sports guy, track star, we were going up for a ping pong tournament. I kicked the shit out of him every time I played him, and I knew I could whip his butt in ping pong. And so guess what? It came down to me and him, and guess what? They canceled the tournament. They didn't have us do it. They didn't have us end it. They just canceled it for some reason. So for some odd reason, they canceled it because they didn't want nobody, me, never playing sports for my school, winning that tournament because they knew I was going to kick his ass, and it wasn't even a challenge. It wasn't even going to be a challenge. But they canceled anyway, so I can't claim victory. But they in that Marines thing, they let him do like half push-ups, where they had everybody else go all the way down, lock their arms, and go all the way up, all the way down, lock their arms. And that guy, he was able to do like half pull-ups, so he did like 50. I think I did 30, but mine were full pull-ups, and that kind of pissed me off. But what can I say? They let him get away with half pull-ups, and I did full locking arm 30 pull-ups. So who's the better man? But the one that can cheat, or the one that did full locking arm pull-ups. Anyway, we both got the same award. We're both of excellence, and that was kind of a highlight of getting that excellence award in that ping pong tournament. And then I started driving, of course, got my license, and then my dad died, and I got Social Security so I could afford a car. So I got a car and insurance stuff, and it was a truck. It was a Datsun truck, 72 Datsun truck is what it was. 72 Datsun truck in 76. In 76, I think I bought that truck. Just before I went to school on 1977. Because my brother drove us to school before that. So I never took the bus. I never rode the bus. I was always taken to school either by my mom or my brother. And so I never had to ride the bus. So then I got my license and I took myself to school. And by the 12th grade year, because I took first one after the 10th grade, after the 10th grade, I took social studies. And then after 11th grade, I took government, because those were 2 required, and I took them in the summer, so that left me only having to have 2 credit hours. And I worked co-op since my dad died. I worked co-op as a janitor at Norix, and then after I graduated, then I went to delivering furniture for Vans Furniture, and then that didn't work out because I didn't want to learn the roads So I kind of left there, and then went to Vans and kind of left there. And while I was at Vans, I went to Kalamazoo Valley Community College for 2 years, and I took a bunch of sports classes. And so, then I got a job elsewhere, and I'll say that in the next video. This one's long enough. And so, okay, so I graduated 1977, and right here's my certificate, or my graduation diploma. See, right there's Norks. It's an all glass school. I mean, it's got a lot of glass in it. It's not all glass, but there's my diploma. See, Norks High School, right here. Norks High School. And right there, Norks High School. I graduated in 1977. And that's the end of my third video. And my next life history, I'll do on my next video. As you can see, today is April the 1st, 3:44 p.m. And here's my third or fourth video on my life. And we always had dogs when we were growing up, and here's one of my favorite dogs right there. Is we call him Tuffy, and he was 14 when he died. He got a tumor on his side. He got a pink. It was like a pink piece of gum. It looked like, but it was a tumor, a bleeding tumor, and we had it removed. And then shortly after that, a few months after that, I think a month, two months after that, he died because I guess it was cancerous. But yeah, we always had dogs when we were growing up. Always had dogs. I'm gonna shave this. I'm gonna shave this beard and this mustache. I'm gonna shave this shit off because I'm not used to having. I usually have a bare face. Probably shave it off today. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I'll shave it off though. But like I said, there's my diploma. I graduated in 1977. Then I right there's my diploma. And like I said, the best thing I did in high school was ping pong tournament and the Marines certificate of excellence was the highest certificate you could get for physical fitness, and I achieved that. And then I went to Vans Furniture. I worked for Vans Furniture because one of my relatives worked there, and he got me in there. So, and I impressed the owners of my physical ability. Don't figure. And being able to lift high beds over my head and heavy furniture over my head and deliver them to people's houses and stuff. But I didn't want to know the roads. I didn't want to know the roads because I don't like to do direction like that. But as far as the physical ability, that was fine. I had no trouble delivering furniture. But then I went to Vandenberg's. When I went to Vandenberg's, then I started in Kalamazoo Valley. And before that, though, when I was in high school, I only had to take two semester hours, and then co-op for 2 more credit hours. So I only needed like 2 credits, so I graduated with a lot of credits. And when I was in high school, I started taking karate because I wanted to see what my brother learned. And you learn different katas and different exercises and different moves and different defenses, blocking and kicking and different moves like that. My favorite move is a punch to the middle section to your right just below your lungs, where that right where your chest cavity is. That's my punch there, and then come up to the face or the neck, with a claw, and so it's a quick, fluent movement. Punch to the middle and up to the head like that. That gets a lot of people. That gets just about everybody, because it's so quick, and you can follow through with the punch to the chest, so you can follow through, so it doesn't have to be a fake. So it's kind of hard to block. So if you block that, then I go to the face. If you don't block that, then I go to the chest. It's kind of hard. It's like a split second decision. Am I going to block this and take it in the face, or am I going to not block this and take it in the chest? So it's kind of a split decision by your opponent, what he wants or what he can block. So karate is like, mine was kung fu, which is animal movements incorporated in people movements. So it's a study of the way animals fight and defend themselves, and it's incorporated in human defense, self-defense. So it's like on the Karate Kid. He was Okinawan karate, the Karate Kid movie, and he was Okinawan, and so he was Kung Fu Okinawan or Okinawan karate. And like I said, it's a study of how animals fight, incorporated to self-defense in humans, like the crane block. That's the reason it's called a crane block, because cranes will put their leg and their wing together to block anything coming to the right or to the left. That's a power block, and stuff like that is after the animals, how they fight and defend themselves. And so and I started taking that in when I was in high school, and then I took it for 2 years. And I took it at Kalamazoo Valley Community College when I went there, and of course I aced that, but I only went to the class like twice, I think. I still aced it because I was a higher ranking belt than anybody could be in that class. I just took it for an easy class, but I like karate. It's pretty cool. Another move I like is a jumping side kick. That's pretty cool. It looks pretty stylish. And another move I like, but I don't do well, is the iron fan, or what it is. It's a wheel kick, a squatted wheel kick is what it is. But it's a blind technique. You don't want to use a lot of blind techniques, but it's an effective technique. It's a sweeping technique. It's a wheel kick squatted. That's what an iron fan is. And if you want to know a cool movie to watch, it's with David Carradine in it. And it's called The Iron Circle. And that's probably one of the best karate movies as far as philosophy goes out there. And they say it wasn't filmed. It wasn't. Bruce Lee was supposed to be in it, but he died before he was in it. And it's on Bruce Lee's philosophy of life, and it's a great movie. You got to see it. It's called The Iron Circle, and with David Carradine in it. And I think it was back in the 70s. I think it was done back in the 70s. But that's a great movie. David Carradine. I used to watch the Kung Fu movies, or episodes, when it was on. And it was cool. It had a lot of good philosophy in it. But, okay, so that takes me to my college years, 2 years. And then I started as a flunky and just a shipping and receiving guy, some forklift driving at Ealing Brothers. They did office supplies, and I sorted 2 boxes. I got a bunch of boxes, and I had to sort through them, take out for orders, and then we shipped them and packed them up and shipped them, and did some forklift driving. And then when I was done from there, I went to Total Plastics, and I was a CNC router operator. I ran one CNC with one table, and then ran another one with two tables, and both CNC routers had 4 heads, and each head had a piggyback head with a drill, so you could put drills in it. So you had 4 heads that you could space apart for each job, and you had up to 8 tools. The 4 routers, 4 different kinds of routers. Yeah, 4 different kinds of routers, and 4 drills. Could be all the same size drill or all different drills, just depending on the program. But we ran between 4x8 and 5x8 sheets of plastic, different thicknesses, and what you do is you route a spool board, which is you put plastic, or not plastic, rubber gasket around the in the gasket grooves that it routes, and they're programmed by the CNC programmer, and then for a spoil board, and then you make that and put that in there, and then drill holes in it for the suction, and then you put the program in to route the parts. So and that was a Fanuc operating system on both of them, the dual table and the single table. I did that for 10 years, and so that's what I did for 10 years. Plus got my material with forklift, so I still was driving forklift. But then I decided, $10 ain't worth this crap, where you're busting your ass all day long. And I'm like King Human. He says 8 hours job is like torture to him, and it's all dismal and outside in the morning, and then you got to go to work and put in the 8 hours. And so 8 hours is more than 8 hours, because before and after work you prepare. I mean, you got to buy a car to go to work, you got to do this, do that. So I'm like King Human, that 8 hour job is like torture to you when you can do it online. See, King Human made his millions online. He makes millions a year online through affiliate marketing, eBay, Craigslist. He sold on eBay, affiliate marketing, selling pictures to like iStock and a few other ones that stock pictures, and some other stuff. And then he also does dividend stocks, and he buys thousands at a time, because he's a millionaire, and he buys thousands of dividend stocks at a time, and then he reinvests the dividend, which is called compounding investing. I learned that from him. But makes a lot of money on that, and then he goes to Vegas in Nevada. He goes there like 2 to 3 times a year, or not a year, a month. 2 to 3 times a month, and he flies there from California, where he lives, and flies back, and then he makes money there too at the casino in Nevada, and he meets some of the students sometimes there that join him. His King Human Elite website. He sometimes meets the students there, and they discuss stuff they've done and what they're doing. And he was carrying around $30,000 in cash. $30,000 in cash, and he pulled it out of his pocket, and all the students wanted their picture with it, with the $30,000. I mean, $30,000 is just chump change to a person, a millionaire, and he makes millions a year. I think he makes like $4,000 to $5,000 just on this affiliate marketing a month. I think it is $4,000 to $5,000 a month, or maybe that's a week. It's either a week or a month, but he makes a lot there on just one of those accounts he was showing. He says he don't like to show his accounts because he rather show you how to do it, and than show his net worth. But I'm like King Human, a job is just that, a job. It's like torture to him. It's like torture to me. I mean, probably torture to you. It's going to people that, they don't make that much, and they got to do that. I got to be 8 hours or more a day there, and it's just, it's not a good situation. I've been a factory rat my whole life, but I'm kind of like him, and I want to do what he does. So that's why I call my site King Human Fan. So I'm KingHumanFan. That's how I came up with my site name, my channel name. And I better go on to my next video, because this one's long enough probably. See, now it's April 1st, 2015, and it's 4 p.m. And here's my last segment of my life. See, my last segment of my life. And oh yeah, I forgot. This is one of the dogs we used to have, and guess what that is? That's a, what is that? That's one of them wiener dogs and Irish setter. A wiener dog Irish setter mix. He has to be 14 years old, but so okay, so I haven't made any money yet online. Today's April 1st, 2015, and haven't made no money yet. I made cash. I mean, on eBay and Craigslist, but I've never made no money. I mean, made money. I made cash by selling my stuff, but never made no money yet. So, see, I went from the furniture business to, let's see, Total Plastics, which I said I was there 17 years. I ran a CNC router for 10 of those 17, the last 10 of those 17 years. I left there. I got them to fire me so I could get unemployment while I looked for a different job. So then I found a job as a robot welder at Bentler, and I did the lower control arm with a robot welder that welded the lower control arm for cars. And then I found another job. I only worked there for 2 months, I think 1 or 2 months at Bentler, and then as a robot welder. And then I went to Intercal, which makes entire bleacher systems. The bleachers that are in your gym in school, what roll up to the wall when it's just for gym class and stuff, and then roll out for spectator sports. They're called spectator seating, and they have all that steel underlayment, and they call them horses that roll in and out, because they do all the work. Horses do all the work, and they're steel. They're made out of steel, and they go up to like 40 feet high. And I loaded 40 and 50 foot trailers with forklift and by hand. Walked a lot of stuff on by hand, and we put in all the steel, the horses, and all the hardware, and like the wood seating, the plastic seating, and the steel seating. Put those all in, and with forklift, and a lot of it's by hand. A lot of people didn't like working on a dock because it's a lot of manual labor. But I worked there from 2000 to 2005. Left there making $17 an hour, plus all benefits were paid by the company, so nothing else was taken out of my check or anybody else's check, and it was a union job. In 2005, I was laid off every year except for one. The year that I made $49,000. That was the highest amount I ever made in 1 year, is $49,000, and I left there making $17 an hour, and plus the $6,000 profit sharing a year. And every year I'd get laid off for the winter, except for the 1 year I made $49,000. and every year I'd get laid off and be off for like 6 months, get unemployment for $720, $720 every 2 weeks. That was great. Be laid off for the whole winter and get $720 every 2 weeks. And I did that for like 2 years. So 75, 76, 77, and, or not 70, it's 2005, 2006, 2007, and that's when I was getting unemployment, and then I went from place to place to place, and I owed $77,000 on my house, and I didn't pay taxes from 2007 to 2000, from 2007 to 2014, and so I built rooms in my house. I built a bedroom out of the living room, a bedroom out of the kitchen, and I built, I made a kitchen nook, and then or before that, I built a garage, and then a breezeway to the garage. The only permit I had was the slab work for the garage. So when I started renting out the rooms, city got word that I was renting out rooms, and I was a landlord before that. I was a landlord from 1986 to 1992, and the first time I filed bankruptcy was in 1992. I rejected the 5 duplexes I had that I rented out to people. Rented 5 duplexes out to people, and I decided that's not worth it, and I filed bankruptcy for the first time in 1992, and then in 2002 I filed bankruptcy again, and to get rid of my bills, and then 2011 I filed bankruptcy to get rid of what I had of bills, which wasn't much, but I wanted to relieve myself of any obligation to owe any money for the house, and I owed 77 grand there, so they can't come back on me for even $1 there, and the city can't come back on me because they took my house, because the city got word that I was renting, so I had to have a rental property city inspection. I knew that, but so I let them in, and they inspected it and said I never had a permit for the garage, for the breezeway, for any of the wiring. I had all the wiring done professionally except for the room I built, the 2 rooms I built, and the garage and the breezeway, but that don't matter because I owed $17,000 in taxes, city taxes, so they figured that the house wasn't worth, anywhere near 77, or they didn't really care about that. They just figured it wasn't worth fixing up, taking down the garage, taking out the rooms, and redoing it all. So they tore it down and filled a hole in, but they condemned it on April the 10th, 2014, and they said I could stay there as long as I was there to fix it up at night. So then I stayed there 2 more months. So the city, the dog pound, and the cops came over, said, they knocked on the door, and they said it's the cops, and I didn't answer, and then one of the cops came in, and I was up, and I asked him, what is he doing? And they asked me, what am I doing? And I said, I live here. And then they said the city owns the house when they condemned it, and then I was cuffed, and I was put in a cop car, and they checked out the house and secured it, and then they came back to the cop car, said I'm free to go, and I can have my dog, so I left. And I didn't have a van or anywhere to stay at the time, so I went back for 2 more days, and then I got a van, and so since the house was condemned, and I was told to leave, and I was by the cops, and not to come back in there because I'd be arrested for trespassing. Or I guess if you're living in there, if you're in the house, they can get you for more than just trespassing. So I like invasion or something, home invasion, and a felony. But so I stayed in the van, off the property, just off the property. And on the vacant property, used to have a house on it before, so I had a driveway, so I parked there and parked there until the end of June. And then the lady across the street, a renter, called the cops on me and said I'm living on my van. So now the cop says, I don't own the property, either property, so I have to leave, and I got an hour to do it. So I left, and I started parking at what was it? Carpool places, 2 carpool places, and then cops were saying I had to leave there, and then I went to a trucker stopper, or what do you call it, truck driving stop, and I stayed there a week or 2, and then meanwhile I was going to Goodwill and their housing apartment place, and they suggested I go down the Mission, and I get my dogs up to a kennel, and a no-kill kennel, so they had to fix them. They had to spay or neuter them because they're all 3 females, and they had to neuter them, so, or spade them. I think it's spayed when it's female, but and then they put them up for sale, so I'm not sure if they're still there or not, but if they are, I can get them back. That's why I'm doing this stuff online, so I can afford a house again. But I've always been a property owner, and so that's where I'm at. Goodwill and the housing department got me this apartment for a year. So it's up in September. I've been here 6 months now. Been here 6 months, so this will be up in the end of September. Where they pay anything. They won't pay anything after that. So I got until September to make some money, so I can have it down for a house, buy a house rental, rent to own is what I'm shooting at, land contract. But that's where I'm at. So I hope I do well online here, because I'm like King Human. Working 8 hours a day for a living is torture to him. And I'm kind of like him, but if I have to, I'll do it. Anything that'll get my dogs back and my house. So that's where I'm at. See, the last time I filed bankruptcy was 2011, and I went down to the church, and they helped me out to do that, to file a bankruptcy. So I'm obligated to no one except for this apartment until the end of September, and I own $77,000 on the house, $17,000 on the taxes. So what's that? 70, 80, 90, about 90, around $95,000. But since I filed bankruptcy, there's nothing anyone can do about that. So I'm kind of relieved of all that. That's what bankruptcy does. And so I'm looking for another way to make money. Meanwhile, I can make the bills, because the bills aren't that expensive here. And with Goodwill helping me, I can just afford it. But now I gotta be able to afford a house after my term's up. And that's how I came up with KingHumanFan channel on YouTube. And that's where I'm at. If you can help me out, I'd be grateful. Don't really make a whole lot on YouTube, because like 40% of it goes to Google, YouTube, and then the other part goes to the YouTuber for the channel, and you have to have a lot of views to make any real money. Like 1,000 views, you make like $10 or something like that. It's not much. You have to have a lot of views all the time. But I'm gonna shave this mustache and beard off and become barefaced again. That's where I'm at. So I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's free. The reason you subscribe is so you can know when any video ad I place, like for sale stuff or any video that I place, you get notification once you subscribe, so you can see it and view it and decide what you like, or if you don't like, that's what YouTube's all about. So I hope you subscribe, and I hope everything works out, and I hope it works like King Human. Man, that guy he's kind of a heavy set, bald head guy, wears sunglasses, but he only chose to be bald because he wants to be, because hair transplant, he can afford it. First time I did a hair transplant was in 2000, and it cost me, what would it cost me? It cost me $10,500. And then in 2002, I had it done again, and it cost me $7,500. So, it just depends how many times you do it, how thick your hair is, and how much hair you have. And they were working on taking a patch of hair and then cloning it, and cloning that until you have a lot of hair. I don't know if that's available yet today. It wasn't at the time when I had my hair transplant done, and I had to drive to Grand Rapids, Michigan to have it done. And I gotta get this tooth and this tooth replaced. I gotta get them implanted. Each one costs around $1,200, I think it was, per tooth, and they last you for the rest of your life. And so subscribe, and hopefully we'll do all this together. And thanks a lot for watching this video, and hope to see you as a subscriber. And I hope you like my content. And thanks a lot. Today's April the 1st, 2015.